horror movie. Especially the way we play it.
Hey guys, what's up? My name's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. This week's video is going to be a little bit different than other videos you've seen on my channel before because most of you already know that I was on the new Discovery Channel show called Dodgeball Thunderdome, hosted by David Dobrik, and if you didn't know that, surprise! I was on the show. It was such a wild day, and so many of y'all have been messaging me and asking me to share behind the scenes on what the day of filming was like, how I got involved in the show, and all of the inside scoop. So I'm getting cozy in my chair. I've got my pumpkin spice chai tea and my merch. This literally, I just pulled this out of the mailbox. It just came in the mail, and so many of y'all have been sending me pictures of your merch that you've got in the mail. So if you haven't already, send me your pictures. And this merch was limited time only, but if you want me to re-release it, if you didn't get a chance to get your merch, drop a comment below and let me know, and I might re-release it for a couple more weeks. So before we dive in, give this video a big thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so you're the first to see my videos when they come out. Okay, let me tell you all about it. So let's start from the very beginning, how I got involved in the show. I actually had to audition for this show, and at first I said no. I had 2 knee surgeries last year, and I was still in physical therapy at the time that I got reached out to about the show. So I was really skeptical about doing it because the little info flyer that they sent me looked super intense. I just didn't think it would be a good idea. But I decided to audition, and I truly didn't think I would hear anything back. I've auditioned for other reality shows in the past, and I just don't ever hear anything back. So I figured this would be the same thing. I was like, well, I got nothing to lose because I'm probably not gonna be on the show anyway. So when I got the call that said, congratulations, you're on the show, I honestly was floored. And I remember asking him, I was like, cool, where does it air? Like, is it a Facebook Live thing? I really honestly didn't even think it was a real show. And he goes, no, Discovery Channel. Legit. So I quickly learned that this was gonna be a real thing. I felt like I should prepare, but like I didn't know how to prepare because they didn't give us much information about what was actually gonna happen, literally until we got there. They didn't even tell us that we'd be getting dirty and muddy, and so I bought an entirely new workout outfit and like a fresh new pair of kicks for this episode, and I'm so glad that I was prepared and packed 8 outfits. Literally, I packed 8 outfits because that's why. Y'all, I was literally covered from head to toe in mud. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up. So the day of filming, I woke up at probably 4:30 in the morning, drove to the middle of nowhere. We were literally filming in a desert, and it was at the end of July. So it was about 110 degrees outside, and we were outdoors all day. They pretty much kept us sequestered in our own little tent, and everyone had to wear masks. Everyone was 6 feet apart. They were really, really strict and good about following all the rules, so I felt very safe. And the athletes were the only people that did not have to wear masks, but only when we were on the course. At all other times, they would hand us a Ziploc bag that had an individual mask in it, and every time it came off, we had to put a new one on. So everything was very safe, and we stayed in that tent unless we were filming intros or interviews or running the course. It was so hot outside, they literally made us chug a bottle of water and a bottle of Gatorade like every 2 hours, it seemed like. So in the morning, we filmed all of our intros and all the stuff that you saw when they introduced us on the show.
I'm a former Miss Washington, and I competed in the Miss America pageant in 2017.
And this little scene right here definitely set the tone for what the rest of the day was gonna be like. I was introduced to these dodgeball snipers, which essentially fling dodgeballs at you at rapid pace. And I had to stand there in front of the train car and dodge all the balls and try to catch them. So then I started to get a little bit nervous. So next, the producer walked us to the course, and he showed us what each part of the course was. But even as I was looking at the course and he was explaining how to do it and what all the rules were, I kept thinking to myself, this can't be that bad. Like, I had a strategy in my head of how this was gonna go and how I was gonna get across this course, and I was pretty confident. Not that I would win, but that I'd at least get 2nd place.
Sounds like a horror movie.
Right off the box, they used my scream. So here's the thing. They told us to talk ourselves through the course. They said, if it's slippery, say that it's slippery. If you're muddy, say that it's muddy. If it's hard, say that it's hard.
I don't want to go under there!
Y'all, I literally just screamed the whole time because when I jumped onto it initially, I didn't know that the whole course was slimed. Before we did the course, they made us turn around and they would not let us look at the course. They told us we'd be disqualified, and what they were doing was sliming the whole thing. So when we jumped onto that first balance beam teeter-totter thing, it was literally slimed. And not only was that part wasn't really the harder part, the snipers start throwing balls at you, and when one hit me, I fell off and into the mud.
He's making the rickety bridge look easy.
Ah!
Maybe looking at?
So once I'm in the mud, my feet were wet and slippery, so when I jumped on again, I just was sliding all over the place. I did that like 4 times until I realized I just needed to crawl across, so I ended up getting on my hands and knees and crawling across that balance beam teeter-totter just so that I could make it across without falling off back into the mud.
Ah! I'm so close!
Congratulations, it's a ball to the head.
That first headshot, man. I'm surprised I don't have a concussion. And it doesn't look that hard on TV. I promise y'all, if you did this, like, you will understand what I'm saying, because it's so hard.
Let's go!
Clearly I was excited in the beginning. I was still hopeful. Also, I feel like I was unfairly matched. I mean, one of the people in my heat was on American Ninja Warrior. The other person is certified Olympic trained, and the other person is a professional wrestler. And I make smoothie bowls. My chosen method of warm up.
Super excited for this competition because everyone seems confident that they're moving on, but only 2 will advance.
Ah!
Did you see my knees wiggle? Like, what?
2, 1.
Also, I was on the end, so I was the closest to those sniper machines, which means the balls hit me harder. And to those of you asking if the balls hurt, absolutely. They're not like the little squishy Nerf balls. They're the rubber 4 square balls that you played with in high school. Imagine one of those flying at your face when you're covered in mud.
I'm so close!
Congratulations, it's a ball to the head.
Nice try.
What do you mean, nice try? It hit you, Nicole.
To be fair, it was a different ball that I dodged that didn't hit me, David.
Die. Ah!
Nicole, first red ball hit.
Okay, also, I'd like to point out that at this point, actually the whole point through the course, I was not even focusing on what balls were hitting me, much less what color the balls were, because the blue balls don't count against you. They're just to distract you. It's only the red ball hits that matter. So when that ball hit me, it didn't even occur to me that it was a red ball hit. I was just thankful that I made it across the rickety bridge.
Maybe we should check out what Nicole is doing.
Yes! Woo!
The screamer is making it over the half dome.
Okay, what they didn't show here is that I body slammed this half dome 4 times before I got over it, because I didn't realize that it was so slimed, and so I thought if I just starfish it and jump like that, I'll clear the ball, because you couldn't go around it, you had to go over the top. And so I just took a flying leap, and I didn't get enough momentum to go across, so I just smacked it and slid back down. I literally did that 4 times before I finally got enough of a running start to get all the way over and swing my legs and slide down. Okay, and then this part was also cut out. You could either go up the ramp to get on top of the platform and climb down, or you could go under the sewage trench. So I tried to do the first because I really didn't want to go into the sewage trench. Like, who would choose to go into a sewage trench? So I body slammed the thing again, grabbed onto the rope and pulled myself up. And when I put my feet up, it's a really steep plexiglass, and I knew that if I let my hand go to grab one higher, I would fall backwards because everything was so slippery. I tried that twice and I just realized it wasn't gonna work, which is why I made the decision to go into the sewage trench. But I was so, I just didn't want to be soaked in mud. I'm so glad I didn't wear that new outfit.
Oh, I don't want to go under there! Ah! Here we go!
Nicole reminds me of that person in a scary movie where you go, how has this person not died yet?
Ah! No! Oh my God!
Freddy, Jason, where are you?
I mean, somebody finished already.
Oh, you guys, I really don't remember screaming that much. I still only have 1 red ball hit though.
But wait, she only has 1 red ball hit. She's about to sneak attack her opponent to take the lead.
What?
Well, I wouldn't call that a sneak attack.
No, wow!
Hey, sneak attack or not, I was still doing pretty good at this point, and I had no idea. Everyone was so far ahead of me at this point, I was like, Nicole, you suck.
Gotcha, sucker!
You would think that he would have heard that coming.
Yes, I was proud of that, because literally that was the only time in the whole course that I actively tried to take a red ball and hit someone else, and I got Brian, who ended up winning our heat, but I still gave him a red ball hit, and I'm counting that.
This is such a close match.
Okay, I would just like to stop and tell you the story of how Nicole Renard almost died on the tire swings. Now, I'd like to thank the editors and the producers of Dodgeball Thunderdome for editing this in such a way that made me look so wonderful and strong and athletic, but can we talk about the reality? Like, y'all came to my channel and you're watching this video because you want the real scoop. Here's what happened. After I came up out of that sewage trench, I am literally covered in soaking wet with mud, water, and slime. Okay. And the first thing you have to do is jump onto a tire swing over a 3-foot lake of water and then use that swinging momentum to jump onto the next tire swing. So when I jumped onto the first one, I had enough momentum to get to the second one, but then I lost momentum and I didn't have enough to get to the third one. So when I finally just took a flying leap to get to the third one, I fell into the lake. Now I'm covered in water. So I ran back around to the top of the platform and I'm even more wet. So when I jump back onto the first tire, my hands are slipping and the chains are cutting up my hands and I'm holding on for dear life with my arms as my feet are slipping around the tire and I just slipped right back off into the lake.
Got this, Nicole. I'm trying.
Try harder!
Ah! Woo!
Looking good for Nicole.
I kid you not, I think I fell into the lake 8 times. I kept getting onto the first one, and once I got into the second one, I would just flip and fall into the lake. And finally I decided, I sat down on the tires and tried to use it as a swing to get across, which didn't work. But at that point, I was trying everything because everyone else had already finished the course. There was one point where I was sitting on the tire and I thought, oh, I'll leave one leg in and stretch my other leg out, you know, because I got long legs, and I'll pull the other tire in with my leg and then crawl over. Well, I got one leg over here and one leg over here, and then I got stuck and there was no way I was getting off. So I just twisted and I fell back into the lake. By that time, I was just making a joke out of it because everyone else in my heat had already finished the course and they're waiting on the boxes for me to finish because they literally could not move on with production until I finished that part of the course. And I started to get really embarrassed because I knew that they were all waiting on me. And I really did not expect to be the last person. And I kept falling, but I'm like, literally, I don't know what else to do because the only way this is gonna move forward is if I finish this course. And so I just kept falling in the lake and getting back out and walking back around and jumping on the tire, falling in the lake. Oh my gosh. It was, I think I was literally on the lake for 30 minutes. Ugh. Now, none of that is in the episode, so thank you to whoever edited that. If you're watching this video, you made me look so good. I just wanted y'all to know how hard those tire swings were.
Even though Nicole's last, she may win this.
She's only been hit with 2 red balls, so if she just finishes without being hit with more red balls, she will move on.
I also didn't realize how close I was to not winning, but like moving on to the next course, because at this point, I just thought I was last because I came in last, but I didn't realize I only had 2 red ball hits and that I actually could have advanced. So I'm over here so discouraged on these tire swings, and really, I'm almost winning.
Looking good for Nicole.
She makes it to the ball hop.
I would just like to say, even though I'm covered in mud, I still looked pretty good. Would you agree?
Oh, never mind. She takes ball
Wow.
3, 4, and 5.
Okay, let's just talk about what happened. I had just spent 30 minutes on those tire swings. I already thought I was eliminated, and so I was at the point of breaking down. I wanted to cry, not because I was upset, I was just, there was so much happening, and they add music and sound effects and all these things to the show, but it was quiet on the set. Like, it was absolutely silent because they're filming, and since everyone had already finished, there were like 13 cameras on me, it felt like, and they couldn't move on until I finished, so everyone's just staring at me, waiting for me to finish. And because of my knee surgeries, I was afraid of jumping onto a ball one-legged and like landing wrong and twisting my knee. So I just, like, as you can see, gracefully stepped onto that ball. They didn't tell us about these 3 dodgeball, slingshot, buckeye, whatever that is. We had no idea about those, and I wasn't even looking. By that point, red, blue, they were all the same color to me. If I would have known and been able to look out for those 3 balls coming my way, I probably would have done something different and tried to dodge them a little bit more. I mean, hello, come on, Nicole, you're on the show, Dodgeball, duh. But what I'm saying was I had already like disqualified myself in my head. I didn't realize the situation. So I had no idea at that point that that was when I was disqualified. But low-key also, if I would have not been hit by those 3 balls and they would have told me that I had advanced to course 2, I probably would have cried and gone home. When that happened, I didn't even feel the other 2 hits because the only one I felt was the one to my head. And I was like, they cut this part out, but I said, "Stop hitting me in the face!" I literally yelled that at the guy who slingshotted them at me.
Did I win?
That was an honest question. I am laughing and smiling there, but inside I was dying and crying and I could not breathe. Once that was all done, so many people from the crew came up to me and made sure that I was okay, but let me know how fun I was to watch. I'm glad my pain could serve as your entertainment. No, but seriously, it was super fun, and I was just happy to have completed the course and to say I did it. I walked back to the tent like the Michelin Man because my muscles hurt so bad. I had mud and dirt everywhere, and it was starting to dry on my skin, so it was like all crusty and dry, and my fingers were all ripped up. So for the next 2 hours, my hands were kind of swollen and I couldn't like close them or open them, and I just sat in the tent. Like I felt like I ran a marathon. I sat there like this and just kept drinking water and eating snacks because we weren't allowed to watch course 2. So when the winners went on to course 2, we had to stay in the tent and wait. And then for course 3, we all got to come back, and the 2 winners from course 2 got to pick teams.
This is a tough one right here. I don't want to hurt any feelings. Nicole!
I wasn't that surprised to be picked last. Happens all the time. But I was really proud of myself for holding my own because it wasn't really clear in the way that they shot this, but I was the second to last person to get hit on my team. When I got hit, the only person left was Brian, who was our team captain, who was the winner. So I did pretty good in hindsight.
Just 2 players on each side now, and here comes Scream Queen Nicole.
Nice try, sucker.
We got the beauty queen out there talking some trash right now.
Oh, not anymore. If there's one thing Tyler knows, it's how to take out the trash talker.
I didn't realize it until the next day when I got home, and I realized my entire arm, like all the insides were bruised and my legs were bruised. These are kind of graphic images, but if you just want to like see a quick little example of what they looked like, I couldn't walk for the next 2 days, and I kind of hyperextended my right knee. So definitely took a couple hits, but the worst part about it was that I bruised my palms. I didn't even know it was possible to bruise your palms. Like the insides of my hands were black and purple, and I had a hard time doing this for a couple days, and it made cooking so tough. So I didn't post a lot of cooking videos on TikTok those next few days because I wasn't able to cook. And I asked the casting director, I was like, hey, I would really like to meet him. I'm not sure if that's allowed, but if I could get a picture, that would like totally make my day. So the only reason I got to meet him is because I asked, but he pulled me aside and I got to go back and meet David and take a picture with him. Here's the pic. He was super nice. We really didn't talk that much. I'm not gonna like hype it up to be something that it wasn't, but yeah, he was super nice, super fun, and it was super fun to get a picture with him. Would I do it again? No. But I'm really glad I did it once, truly. It was such an amazing experience. I met so many cool people. The crew was awesome. The show was so fun. Now that I've done it once, there's no need for me to do something like that again because it was so crazy. But let me know, would you do this show? Comment down below if you'd be down to be on season 2 of Dodgeball Thunderdome. Who knows? This could be you next year. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, you can watch the full episode on YouTube, or you can watch it for free at discoverygo.com. For those of you that did watch the episode, please comment below what your favorite part of the episode was. I love that we all got to watch this together, and I just think it's just like such a random funny thing to happen in life. And I'm glad you got to go on the journey with me. Hey, if you liked this video and you liked the episode of Dodgeball Thunderdome, please give this video a big thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to this channel, I want you to be part of the best family ever. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so that you're the first to see my videos when they come out. You know I love you. See you next week. Bye.